I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
And this is This Life for...
This is what? Oh, This Life, you said.
This Life by the band Sevendust for the big homie.
Sevendusted.
Sevendusted. Sevendusted is doing his thing over there in... the stand. He's in Afghanistan. So shout out to you.
Yeah, but I thought there was something on the stream last night that said they have a date, right?
He's got a date, inshallah. So hopefully the crazies over on the left, they're not even left. The crazies and the Pelosi and Schiff and the rest of those idiots. Hopefully they don't block my brother from coming home.
I know. He said, this one's for you guys as my little way of saying thanks for being supportive and keeping us entertained while being away from home for so long.
Okay, shout out to those guys. For timely topical political commentary, you can hit us up in Middle America with Vinny and Sorry. There are multiple ways to get your song reviewed, dear listener. My favorite one is a community option, $1 at the gate, gets you in at Patreon, where you get to meet the amazing Helendros. I'm now going to start pronouncing it Helendros. Helendros and Ian and obviously Leah of the Village, the world famous. All those beautiful people. You pull your points together with your teammates, and then that determines what songs that we do. If you're a filthy capitalist like Sorry, and you're a rugged individualist like Sevendusted, I can't call Sevendusted filthy anything. He's
especially
out there.
Because he's
out there grinding.
And he did this one for us.
$125 gets you jump straight to the head of the line. You skip over everybody just like in Disney World or Duck Duck Goose, whatever you want to call it. And we would do your song, and so that's what he did. You do that 3 times, you get bumped down to the $75 tier, which is what the big homie's at. Okay, so that being the case, Sevendust, This Life from the album Next Let's Go.
Here we go.
Okay, we're good. Sounds like an 80s type of thing on the jig.
Sounds relaxing.
I heard your heartbeat and my body grew so still. I looked into your mother's eyes and I knew you were alive.
It's a baby!
I longed
It's a bottom baby!
and show you all I know. Hand in hand with this new love, this life means so much more. I know now what I hear. It's a new love that I feel. It's you that blessed us with this life that we waited for so long. Your life has changed me. I'm not the man I was before. You're in my head, my heart, my soul. You're always on my mind. My time to know you is quickly drawing near, but not as fast as my love grows. You this place that we call home. Life looks brighter now. I know now what I hear. It's a new love that I feel. It's you that blessed us with this life that we waited for so long. I know now what I hear. It's a new love that I feel. It's you that blessed us with this life that we waited for so long. We're so happy now. We're so happy now. You're here.
Well, I just got confirmation that one of my the kids I used to play basketball with in this apartment complex died of COVID by himself in his apartment. His parents are in Somalia, so I don't even think they know. So, and I love that kid. And I loved him. So, it's tough because the song is about, you know, having your kid, and I'm thinking about his parents. You know?
I think it'd be hard enough to hear that something had happened to your kid, but even harder to hear that they died alone.
We used to, like, see his car on the side of the street. It had his name on it. So it's hard, you know, because I remember holding Dorian for the first time. It's like your worst fear as a parent. The minute the test comes back positive that your kid is, that you're gonna have a kid, you're always afraid you're gonna lose them. So it's tough because like, he was their firstborn, you know, so he, you know, that song, you know, thank you for the song, Sevendust. Seriously. It's just weird how, you know, these songs are like hitting back to back.
I know.
So I appreciate it. You know, negative emotions are not, they're not always bad. You know, you can't go through life happy all the time. So there's nothing wrong with, feeling it. And I'm glad that I've seen a lot of death in my life, but I'm glad that it still hurts. So, very, very good song, and he was out there playing with Orion and watching him discover a dog for the first time, or I think that's yeah, it's a completely different type of love when you have a kid,
Yeah.
But they never leave your consciousness. So, I'm just listening to the song and like thinking about his mom, and having to get that phone call, man. So, but at the same time, like, I'm sure they wouldn't trade, a moment, It's better to love them and lose them than never have them at all. So, I'm just very, very grateful to God that
He's only 25.
we play ball, and then, nobody would ever pick him, so I'd always pick him, and I'd come from work and I'd be in like dress clothes or whatever, and he'd always pick me. Then, the game would be over and everybody's sweaty and nasty. That's one of the ways that the car ended up so horrible. We'd take him I'd take him. They'd be like, yo, Vin, let me come. Because they knew if they were in the car, then I was going to take him to... I always took Lee Ben, always. So, he was just a beautiful kid, man. Always smiling, all the time. All the time. So, rest in peace to the big homie. And that's all I got, guys, unfortunately.
I didn't see that message come in. So for me, I was just listening to the song and thinking about, as a mother, having, Reza's in my womb right now, and Orion sleeping in the next room, and, we've got our older kids, but like there's something about when they're really young that's super, super special. And when it said, I heard your heartbeat, and my body grew so still. I looked into your mother's eyes, but obviously I flipped that, and I knew you were alive. For me, like, after having a miscarriage and then getting pregnant with Orion, it was like when I like held my breath when it was time to hear his heartbeat, because I wasn't sure if there was going to be a heartbeat or not. And like when I heard he had a heartbeat and I knew he was alive, like I was very, very happy. And then it says, I long to meet you and show you all I know, hand in hand with this new love. This life means so much more. And I was like, it's so true. Like when you have children, like how it changes your perspective on things. It changes your reaction to things, and they can make you feel so frustrated, but they can make you feel so in love too. And so that was, I was thinking about like his delivery and stuff. And then your life has changed me. And then it says, I'm not the man I was before, but like, I feel more, I'm different because Orion is here. I think each time that you have a kid, like it changes you in different ways. You're in my head, my heart, my soul. You're always on my mind. My time to know you is quickly drawing near. And this part started making me think of Reza, because we're like 23 weeks now with Reza. You're always on my mind. My time to know you is quickly drawing near, but not as fast as my love grows. You've made me feel alive. So it's like it's funny because the song is like super super special. I really like it, and then it also has like this really sad feel to it. And then obviously like I looked over and I saw that message. I'd like this. Nice to see you. Welcome to this place that we call home. Life looks brighter now that you're here. I liked that part. You know, when Orion was born, like one of the things that I said to him when I had pulled him up onto myself was welcome to the world. And I love showing him new things and introducing him to things that he doesn't know before. And like we had a huge rainstorm. It was like pouring. It was like downpour. And I opened up the door so he could like look out, and he was like loving looking out at it. And then he went out onto the front steps and it was just pouring. It was so much rain. It was unbelievable. And he just like was like putting up his hands like this, and then he started clapping, and it was super, super, super cute. And I was like, wow, like some people choose to never experience stuff like this. And obviously I feel bad for people that don't choose it, but that's their lot in life. And him and I just ran around in the rain, and we had a really good time. It was really, really fun. But then as the song was coming to a close, like I looked over and I saw the message come in saying that, you know, that guy had died of COVID. And I was like, oh my word, like that's when like the sad part of the song was like, oh my gosh, like, wow, like I can't, 25 years old, that's so friggin' young. It's like, I can't even, and like, for me, I always have this weird, like, I want the kids to like, you know, kind of grow up and do their own thing and, you know, go outside and play, go ride your bikes, you know, do different things. But then there's like a part of me that just wants them to like stay pinned in the same room as me, so that way I get every second with them. Yeah. Because I don't like the idea of any time that like, I'm like, well, will I wish that I hadn't. I made this quilt for Selah when she was like 3 or 4 years old. And when I was making the quilt for her, it was obviously taking time away from spending time with her. And I was like, what if something happens to her before she's like 5 years old? And then I wish that I hadn't have made the stupid quilt, because she's not going to spend the rest of, you know, her upbringing enjoying it because she's not with me anymore. And I had to put her off to the side so I could make the quilt. And I hate living in that sort of like a world, you know. And like when I hear about, you know, I didn't know this person, but like the parents are not here, and like to hear that your kid is like somewhere else, like not even anywhere near you, and something tragic like that happens to them, it's like, oh my gosh. And then I can't even bear the thought. I don't like the thought of anybody dying alone, but the thought of like a kid like that, like, it's just terrible, scary, and I feel so horrible for his mom. And so the song kind of like meshed, because it was like, there was like the joy of, you know, my babies, but then the sorrow of her baby. Ugh. Thank you, Sevendust, for the song. So I don't really have a whole lot to say about, you know, it either. I liked it. I liked the vocal style. I liked, you know, what they did with the song. It was really sweet, but it just had like a sadness to it, because even though I didn't know what he died of, I knew that he had.
There's a GoFundMe for lead band. Here's lead band right here. I told you he's always smiling. You're gonna say, oh, it's a picture. I'm telling you, man, that's how it was. So there's a GoFundMe, and if you feel so led to help him, then great. If not, that's okay. So I gotta get out of here. So then out.
Story out.
Gone.
Dust with this life that we waited for so long. I know now what I hear. It's a new love that I feel. It's you that blessed us with this life that we waited for so long. We're so happy now. We're so happy I heard your heartbeat, and my body grew so still. I looked into your mother's eyes, and I knew you were alive. I longed to meet you and show you all I know. Hand in hand with this new love, this life means so